Welcome back to Aquarius Truly, starring me, Lisa Serrano. This is episode 11, repeating numbers 11. I'm so incredibly delusional for that, I feel like. But it's fine, because that's literally like what I feel like this podcast is about. Or maybe it's not about being delusional. Maybe that's not what this whole thing is about, or at least that's what I just think I want y'all to believe in yourselves and, really reach your full potential. And perhaps me seeing potential in people is my downfall. Because maybe I do a very extreme version of that. Do I believe that people should be avoidant and not really say the good in people ever? No, I don't believe that, because I think that way of thinking is also not incredibly healthy, but I do believe there needs to be a balance, especially if you're someone like me who is a very trusting. I feel like I am always attempting to see the good in people. I'm really always trying to see everyone's full potential. And it's low-key my Achilles heel, because I think in a way it's nice, right? Because I can see all of the beauty in the world. But the thing to remember about potential is that a lot of the times that you're seeing potential in other people, that is really your own potential, and you are just projecting that onto another individual, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it does open the door for you to be a little bit naive, where I definitely am guilty of being naive in certain aspects because of me seeing the good in people. So I would say people really need a balance. I love that for this episode, we really have just gotten right into it. I think it's just been some of my episodes, I do my introduction, but I just felt very called to say that, because I feel like that's just been a running theme in my life, is I just naturally would love to see the good in people. And I love that about myself. I don't want it to change, but I do want to be better in terms of trusting people, because y'all know how some people have trust issues. I have trust too much issues in the sense that if you tell me something, more than likely I am going to believe you, simply because of how I was brought up and the household that I was brought up in, which was filled with lots of honesty and love and care. So naturally, I'm going to think that the world is like that. Which is why it's very shocking to me when I guess I encounter other people and they say that my attitude sometimes can come off as a little aggressive. I'm just if only y'all knew that I actually see the good in everyone. And it's getting to a point where I really have got to stop doing that. As I said, I wanted to table the conversation with what my previous episode was about. I hope y'all really enjoyed that tea-filled episode. And as I mentioned in the episode, I was I am sure that another girl is going to reach out to me. And I was sort of joking with that, but another girl ended up reaching out to me. So yeah, they didn't have sex, but he was trying to ask her out. While we were together, ask her on a date, and then wanted to be official with her in a month. And she was no. And she sort of just told me that he rubbed her the wrong way from the very beginning. And just that was that. And yeah. And so much more has unfolded with this individual that I don't even want to give more attention to this person. Frankly, my tongue is just getting really tired of talking about the subject. When I moved to LA, I wanted to be in movies. I did not want to be the movie, which is what I think has been happening. I feel like my life is just a movie, and I don't really like to subscribe to this belief that oh, my life is a joke and blah, 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 and it's laughable. I mean, sure, to cope, I do have to laugh at some of these things, but I don't want to go out here saying that my life is a joke, because it's really not. I think it's what I've experienced is crazy, but the amount of growth that I have received through going through everything that I've gone through the last 2 months, it really is just priceless. And I'm so proud of myself. I could really get like emotional thinking about, life 2 months ago. Because this breakup, I think, happened. Let me look at the calendar. Tomorrow, it will have officially been 2 months. And the growth and the moves that I have made for myself and the things that I have been doing, I just feel really proud of myself. And I didn't need this individual to complete any of these things. And I do really feel proud of myself. Obviously, the things that happened to me, super insane. I mean, I was basically dating Ted Bundy when you think about it. But let this be a reminder that, like, no matter how attached you are to a certain outcome happening, trust that no matter what change comes your way, no matter what is thrown at you, you will be able to adapt and you will be able to fully accommodate it. I don't know if accommodate is the right word, but like you'll truly be able to, I guess, adapt to this new way of life and to this new trajectory, which maybe might have been your original trajectory. And maybe you were thrown a little bit off course when you started attaching yourself to a life that you thought you were meant to have. Sometimes that happens in life. We are thrown a little off course, but trust that the universe will always bring you back to like getting closer to everything that you really, really want in life, I've spent a lot of today just like journaling. I hadn't journaled in like 2-3 weeks, which honestly is like a really long time for me. Like I am the type of person that I journal close to every day. So the fact that I hadn't done it in like 2 or 3 weeks, that's a long time for me. Like it really is a long time for me. The way I don't know if y'all heard that, but I just smacked the hell out of my shorts. I was like, let me stop. Let me grow up. Why is this episode, I feel like a little bit chaotic? I'm not going to lie. Just a tad. I don't know if y'all are getting that vibe too. But yeah, I've spent a lot of today journaling and also just like being outside. I hadn't gone on a walk in a while. And I know I always use the terms like, I haven't done this in a while. I haven't done this in so long. But like really, it's been my last walk, like an intentional, I'm going for a walk. Maybe it was like also 2 weeks ago, which is a lot for me because I am someone who is frequently going on walks. So for me to not go on a walk, it's like, girl, get out there. What do you think you're doing? So I went for a walk. I got Subway since I had like a discount. I still have the rest of my sandwich in because I got the foot long. And I think it's just because I've been eating healthier, but like I feel like before I would be able to eat a foot long Subway sandwich in like one sitting. And like perhaps if I'm hungry, I would do it. But like I had breakfast and like, I don't know, like I was like, am I skinny? But I couldn't. I was like, no, I got to save like the rest of this for later. And like, that's going to be my dinner since Subway was like my lunch. But I did that and it was like an intentional walk. And it's something that I really like to do out here is like, instead of driving somewhere, I'll really like make it a point to like go on a walk instead and just get my steps in that way because I feel like first of all, it's always good to get your steps in. It's really good for like your, cardiovascular system. I don't know. Don't come for me, but it's good for your heart. It's good cardio. It's good cardio. And that's that. So I always like to go on walks and I feel like walks they actually are very mindful, especially if they're silent walks. This one was like a hot girl walk. So like I was listening to my favorite tunes and anything that like makes me want to strut. I had my black sunglasses and I was just like, wow, I'm that girl. But I was doing that and journaling and then also studying since I'm taking my exams, since y'all know I'm like trying to get my teaching credential. So I feel like I've been really productive today and like I have my gym fit on. So like I am going to go to the gym and just like do legs, since like I went for my walks, did cardio that way. So now I'm like, okay, let's do some Bulgarians, let's do some squats, let's be productive. I want to make sure that I don't leave super late, I suppose, just because like the last 2 weeks, so I was sick 2 weeks ago, and I've been getting I've been getting sick a lot this year. I spoke to my doctor. I know why. I don't want to like disclose that information. Your girl's good. Your girl is fine, but you know, my immune system hasn't been the best this year. And I'm going to start taking vitamin D starting tomorrow, and just like I try to take like emergency once a week just because I'm a teacher. So like naturally, y'all know kids are coughing and hacking everywhere. So I naturally am going to be more prone to illness than like the natural person. So, or the average person. So I was sick, and then after that my friends visited, and I was considering vlogging it, but I really just wanted to like stick to being in the present moment. Like, I don't know. I really just wanted to like have that time with my friends and really enjoy it. And not to say that like vlogging isn't fun. And obviously my friends love being in my vlogs, but I don't know. It's like, it's tough when you have friends that are long distance. The time that you have together is so precious. And I will vlog with them like someday. I want that to happen just because like, yeah, they're very important to me, and they should absolutely be in my vlogs. But I really wanted to nourish my time and just like feel super present. And I got that literally by being with them. It is really difficult to have your best friends live across the country, having your family live across the country. And I've made my friends out here. But if I'm talking about my best friends, like my homegirls, they're all in Jersey. My family's in Jersey. Everybody's in Jersey. And then my other friends that I've known like for a couple of years now are in New York. Pretty much everyone is across the country. And LA is a beautiful city, and I never want to leave. I really, really love it here. I love having the sun. I love being 5 feet from Hollywood Boulevard. Like, I absolutely love living out here. I just miss my family, and I miss being near them. And like, I do feel homesick at times. And sorry if y'all hear my phone ringing. That was my friend texting me. But yeah, sometimes I do feel a little homesick out here, and just like it's difficult. And I think like in terms of processing, maybe some of those emotions were sort of like pushed a little to the side while I was in my relationship, because I was receiving love, or compensation really. I was receiving all of that attention in that way that it sort of took away from any sort of like homesick feelings that I would get as, you know, the months went on in that relationship, and like the months of like being away from home. I wouldn't really get like, you know, I wouldn't get those feelings, because I was like, okay, I'm being fulfilled in this way. I sort of feel like this home feeling with this person. And my ability to feel that with someone, I think, is a beautiful thing. But like I said, it is my Achilles heel, because I didn't know this person that well. Clearly, I didn't know this person at all. But I felt very fulfilled in that aspect. So I guess in a way, like, that was sort of a distraction for any feelings of homesickness that I was getting. But like, it's not home that I miss. It's the people. Like, I do not miss New Jersey. I don't miss New Jersey, girl. I am a proud Jersey girl. I love my accent. I love my culture. I live, okay? I love being from out there. But I miss my people. I miss being around my people. And like, not for nothing, I do feel like LA has a lot of culture, obviously. But if I'm talking diversity and like being exposed to different people, I would say like the tri-state area is very, very mixed. I feel like out here, I don't get that much of that. And I can even see it with my own identity. I do not know many Colombians out here. I know two, and they're my students. You know what I mean? Like, and then there's like one other person at work that's Colombian. But even then, she like just barely started working there. I'm not seeing many people that know my culture. So sometimes it does feel a little isolating. Obviously, I'm surrounded with like other Latinos, so that's nice. But they are all, you know, not all of them, but like I would say like the majority are like Mexican or Salvadorian. I don't really encounter many South Americans. Like I can't talk about like pan de bonos or like empanadas or anything like that. Or like, you know, when I go to the club, I'm not hearing salsa, I'm not hearing bachata, definitely not hearing vallenato. I'm not hearing any of those things. And like, I guess those are some of the things that I do miss about living in New York. It's just like that culture and like just having all that different diversity. Thank you to that helicopter that is being so loud. Guys, I feel like it's the retrograde that's making my podcast get very disrupted today. And I don't appreciate it. But yeah, in that sense, like I do miss home. But I love that I talked about this in another episode of just being very happy about how I grew up and that I grew up around so many different people, and it really prepared me to live out here because I was exposed to so many different cultures, and now I'm sort of in a place where like I have all of this life experience, I have all of these things, I'm ready to just move to a place that's like more chill and like more grounded, because on the East Coast, y'all know things move fast, especially in New York. Like I would say New Jersey's a little slower, but we're still right by the city. So like it still has that fast aspect of it. My parents are New Yorkers, so naturally it's just like I'm used to like a fast culture. So I wanted that change. And like I also just think that this is the best place to be for my career and for all of the different things that I want to do in life. So I do love it out here, but I think you're allowed to love things and recognize that like nothing is going to be perfect. Something can be everything you ever dreamed of and fill you with so much happiness and fulfillment. But it's absolutely normal to sort of just like get these feelings of like, I don't know, just slight gaps or slight spurs, I guess, or slight blurts of not negativity, but maybe loneliness. You know, I think that that's absolutely normal with anything in life that you love. Like, I also am just like far from my sister, and like my sister lives in London, okay? And me and my sister are best friends, y'all. Like, we are literally, that's my girl. So it's the fact that like I am so far from her and just far from everyone, really. But in a way, it's so beautiful because I can feel myself growing from not only living on my own, but living far and living in my dream city. Being out here, I think I'm going to be out here for a while, but I'm completely open to like moving to another city and seeing who I am in there. I feel so much hope, and I feel so young, and like, I just feel like there is so much to look forward to for me. And I just feel like the possibilities are endless, and you're allowed to feel scared in the midst of change and in the midst of like, I guess, change, and also just like, you know, living on your own and being fully independent. My parents are thankfully very helpful, like, and they're always just very communicative. But for the most part, if not in every aspect, like I am taking care of myself. Like I am fully taking care of myself. I am responsible for myself out here. And sometimes that can be a really scary thing. But if I never made this move, I would have not grown in the ways that I have. Like, I think about myself last year, or maybe even 2 years ago. I had no idea that I was going to be living out here. That's crazy. And then a year ago, I had no idea all of the things that were going to happen this year. The good, the bad, all of it made me a stronger person. And I think that there's not only so much beauty in that, but like, I have a lot of pride in the person that I am today. And I wouldn't be this person with every single experience that I have gone through. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't be this version of myself that I am right now. I think right now I'm feeling very called to, I guess, like, really come face to face with how trusting I am as a person, and how, while it is a beautiful thing, especially in a world where like people don't want to trust each other, there is a beauty in the fact that I have the ability to do that. However, I do have to acknowledge the fact that like I do trust people very easily, especially people that I don't know. And I think there does have to be some sort of a balance. I was talking to my sister today and I mentioned this concept of like detachment in a healthy way as opposed to an avoidant way. Because I think there's this huge culture on TikTok that like we have to be detached, and like detachment, there is a lot of detachment and blah, blah, blah. While I do think that is important to detach yourself and to not obsess, you can't get to a point where you are avoidant and where you disregard anything you want, you disregard any person, and you just literally are like, fuck everything, fuck everyone. I'm going to live my life and I'm not going to care about anything in the world. And I am literally just like going to exist and like do so in an unhealthy way. Like there does have to be some sort of balance where like you do have to, I do think it's important to detach, but don't detach yourself to the point where like you are being avoidant. That is where things can get unhealthy and enter an unhealthy territory. But me, because I'm on such an extreme end of like, I guess, not anxiety. I wouldn't say I have anxious attachment. I think my ex often tried to make me think like I had anxious attachment, when in reality, it was my intuition and gut telling me that this man was not for me. But I do think that I am like completely far away from avoidance to the point where I'm very trusting. And like, if you tell me something, like I said, more than likely I will believe you because I am a very honest person. In terms of lying, I'm the type of person where like, I cannot lie. I'm an actor, but I can't lie. Like, if you ask me to lie, I will not sleep at night. I cannot lie. I can't lie. Like, I'm literally like, if I did so, it's different if it's like another person's business. But if it's my business and I know I did something wrong, I have to get it off my chest. Like, I'm like, no, I literally have to, like, I can't keep anything in. Like, it's just like too much. Anything that I've done, like, I would say even with coming out to my parents, like, I literally was like, I have to let this off my chest. I'm like holding on to like this deep secret. Like, it's like, I have full transparency with my parents because I am just the type of person, maybe it's the OCD, but it's just like, I literally will drive myself into anxiety thinking about something that I am holding on to. And because of that, I'll think that other people operate in the same way where like, oh, you know, they couldn't possibly be hiding any secret from me because if they were, how would they be able to sleep at night? But there actually are plenty of people out there that can hide crazy secrets and go to bed fine. Like, which is a foreign concept to me and it's so absurd. Like, I'm like, how the hell? Like, I feel guilty about telling one white lie. Like, I literally cannot imagine like lying about big stuff. But I have to remember there are people out there that do that. And like me, I guess like having better judgment and improving my judgment is going to really be like one of my mental goals for 2026, since we're almost entering 2026. I really want to focus on just like confronting this karmic cycle of trusting people too easily and seeing the potential too early on. I really have to stop doing that, guys. Like, it's like getting to a point where like I am seeing the potential that is, like I said, any potential you see in another person, you are seeing in yourself. You're just projecting that. Like, that is not their potential. It is your potential, and you're just projecting that onto another person. Like, I'm telling you this because I literally do the same thing. I will see someone's potential when in reality, it's not their potential. It's my potential. I'm just projecting that onto the person. So that really is going to be like one of my goals, is just like tackling that, because it's not healthy. Trust that people show you who they are. Like, and they tell you who they are. Like, obviously I feel like it's a little contradictory, because it's like on one end, it's like, you know, you gotta listen and believe people when they tell you who they are. But then on one end, it's like, you gotta remember that people might not be everything that they seem. I think time is really, really underrated in terms of like getting to know people. I think in this society, we often rush a lot of things, and we're like, especially like with dating or like building a friendship with someone, it's like you have to be official after 3 weeks, or like you have to do this and the 3-month rule and stuff like that. I think it literally takes a lot of time to really establish someone's character and who someone is, not only in the actions that they do, but the people that they are surrounded by. Like, I feel like I too often jump without seeing the whole picture. I am a Scorpio rising, Scorpio Mars, Aquarius Sun. I am an Aries Venus. I'm an Aquarius Mercury. The only logical thing about me is my Virgo moon. Everything else in my chart is literally thrives off of impulse and fixed emotions. I am fixed to the core. So me being a fixed sign, like a really, really fixed sign, not like, oh, I have one place, like literally most of my placements are fixed. Me operating in that way means that like once I decide something and like I make an impulsive decision, I will stick to it. Which is, like I said, it works out in terms of career, because it's like I am sticking to my career. I am sure of myself and I'm sure of the person that I am. But then it's my downfall, because it's like I will do that with people and make impulsive decisions with people and just like have that fixed energy and not want to change it. Like, my chart is literally impulse and spite, which is like, it's low key. It's a struggle. It's a struggle. My Virgo moon saves me from, I don't know, like jumping off a cliff, like, or doing anything like super extreme. But like every other placement is literally like, let's be spontaneous. Let's do this. Let's do this. And let's do this for the plot. And it's like, I really have questioned a lot of my decision making. And I know I'm only 24. So I'm like, okay, at least I'm 24 and we're learning about this now. My prefrontal cortex, she's on her way. She's developing. She's getting there. You know, we're doing something about the problem now, instead of just like sitting in this and allowing myself to continue these karmic cycles. We are in the retrograde right now, which literally is like about facing your demons and facing and breaking karmic cycles. My karmic cycle is this thing that I do where I trust people immediately. That is what I'm choosing to break. I literally am like, I need to put more of an emphasis on time and on actions, as opposed to most of the emphasis on actions and not recognizing the other things that come with that. My ex-boyfriend, prior to moving to LA, was abusive, as I mentioned. Specifically, he was manipulative and verbally abusive. He shouted at me twice and like would frequently raise his voice or like give me the silent treatment and just act in very immature ways. This individual, I trusted and like I stayed with him knowing that I deserved better. For someone who is as self-fulfilled as I am, it's very unusual that I am like getting myself into these situations, not to fully put the blame on me, but I do have to take some accountability because it's like if my body is telling me that something is wrong, I have to trust that it's not my anxiety. Like I really have to think. I guess in terms of the obsessive OCD thoughts, that really has been my anxiety. But if I'm having a gut-wrenching feeling that things are off, perhaps it's because things are actually off and I'm an intuitive ass girl. Like, why would my body lie to me in that way? You know what I mean? And I think that that's something that y'all should note too, is that your body will always tell you when something is wrong. Like, will tell you when situations are not meant for you, when people are not meant for you. Your body knows. Like, there's a book that my sister has recommended to me and I have to read it. It's called The Body Keeps the Score. And it literally talks about like the science behind how certain situations and people affect your body. Like, notice who you get sick around. Notice who is maybe giving you freaking mal de ojo. Like, all these things are so incredibly important and we ignore them. Like, we ignore the signs because, like I said, I think I've gotten good at like recognizing signs from people. I got to start recognizing the signs that like my body is giving me. I think the universe recognizes that I am this very intuitive person and this intuitive being. So naturally, I am going to be put through, I guess, like more tests by the universe, because the universe is going to be like, oh, you're intuitive, all right. Okay, let's switch it up and let's make you go a little crazy. Let's put you through something insane. The universe will do that to to literally test your intuition. And a little too often I have failed said tests, and I really am trying to get better at that. And the first step is really listening to my intuition and listening to my body. So that is what I'm going to be working on. Comment down below any goals that you have for 2026, anything that you think has been weighing on you, I suppose. And I really hope y'all like this episode. I know it was a little chaotic, but you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Both are at Lisette Serrano. And I really hope y'all have a beautiful rest of your day. And I had a blast. So bye.